it all goes to crap and everyone dies. Hey guys, welcome back to the Book and Beverage review, where today we will be having Tolkien Tea Time, where we will be reviewing a Tolkien work and talking about Lord of the Rings news and merch. So the book today is The Children of Hurin by j.r.r. Tolkien. It is adapted from his prose poem written in meter of the same name, and also a variety of stories that were in his pages, and his son compiled them. I think it only came out in 2007, so it's going to be very interesting. Let's sip some tea and get into a story. Let's see if I can do this somewhat gracefully. So this is just some normal Lipton tea from a bag that was brewed. And what I like to do to sweeten it is I just put some strawberry jam. This is actually a trick that my family used to do. They're from the old school, back in like World War II, where no one had sugar because they were sending it overseas to our troops. And what they used to do is just put strawberry jam because it did the trick. This is strawberry jam. It's better if you put strawberry preserves in there than strawberry jam, but any sort of jelly or jam you have would do. I just love that flavor. I grew up with this, and we would like make some bread and we'd eat the fresh baked bread with the tea and the jam in it. It's so good. So you should definitely try this at home. One of my favorite ways to drink tea. Let's get into our story. This was a trauma bomb. So much trauma in here. It was like a straight up Greek tragedy. This basically centers around this character in Middle-earth named Hurin, who is supposed to be like the greatest warrior amongst men. And he goes to a major battle, which is called the Nirnaeth Arnoediad. And I'm sure they pronounce it like Nirnaeth Narnoediad. And you know how they put the accent on everything. Look, I don't want to do all that. So look. Soon after, he's captured and taken into Angband, where he is tortured, and Morgoth asks him where Gondolin is, the hidden city, and Hurin won't tell him. So what happens is Morgoth ends up putting a curse on his family. And in this book, I think one of the most valuable things is you start learning like what Morgoth is able to do. Morgoth is able to focus his energy to bend everything to serve his will. That's his sort of power. And so the eye and shadow of Morgoth then lies on Hurin's family. His son is only like 9, and he gets sent away to live with King Thingol and Melian up in Beleriand. Every time our character Turin, the son of Hurin, tries to do right, someone around him, someone he loves, ends up dying in a very tragic way through accident or through an ironic happening, or he ends up killing them thinking that there's someone else or that they're lying to him. And it's kind of a story that shows that his mother Morwen and him, they're too prideful to accept help, and also sometimes they're too prideful to let things go. And that's the reason, another reason why they end up in so much tragedy. But it's not really like a moral tale. At the end of our story, it's very tragic. I don't want to tell you guys what happens. I'm sure you could Google it if you want to know. Essentially, it's just it all goes to crap and everyone dies. It's kind of what happens, and it's really sad and it's heartbreaking. So now, with that being said, it is a good book. It is very good. I was surprised. It's not written like a traditional novel. It's kind of written like a historical account, and the narrator's voice is very strong throughout. So it's not like like it tries to provoke emotion. It's just telling you like from A to B what happened, but emotions aren't provoked because you do get attached to the character of Turin, even though he can kind of be a jerk sometimes. I think that the saddest story in here was what happens to his friend Beleg, who is an elf and watches him grow, and the kind of what happens. It's very sad that they both end up in this tragic, they end up in tragic situations because the shadow of Morgoth does not relent, and it achieves its will and destroys the entire family of Hurin. Like, there was no way to read this book if you didn't read the Silmarillion. There was no way you were going to understand half the things they're talking about or the places. Because, again, in the Middle-earth saga, everything has a name. The sword has a name. The place has a name. I think if you like the Middle-earth saga, this is a book to definitely pick up. What I want to do is I want to use a segment after we talk about our book to talk about merch and upcoming news, because I think that's the fun stuff, right? So I went down to my local gaming store. It was called Fourth Space Games, and the guy who was working there, Trent, I forgot how we had the conversation that I liked Lord of the Rings, and he asked me if I'm excited for the Magic the Gathering card series coming out, and I was like, what? Magic the Gathering is coming out with Lord of the Rings decks. It's called Lord of the Rings Tales from Middle-earth, and it is fully legal. They're commander sets, decks of Lord of the Rings cards, and you will be able to buy them on June 23rd. It is very exciting. If you're a Magic the Gathering fan and a Lord of the Rings fan, this is a perfect pairing. And they will also be releasing in a booster pack the One Ring. It is a one-of-one card. It is unique. It seems to have some Elvish on it, and that ring is going to be like a Willy Wonka golden ticket sort of situation. Someone's gonna pick it up, and it's gonna be fun to find out who. So hopefully it's one of us, right? So with that being said, if you don't like Magic the Gathering, there is also a playing card company called Theory 11, and they make fine Lord of the Rings cards. So they have gold foil on there. You have, for the jacks and queens and kings, you have things like dwarves and Aragorn and hobbits. The decks look so beautiful. I have not picked up one yet. I may pick up one next month. I would love to have something like this, and I'm sure you guys, Lord of the Rings fans, would love to have something like this too. And also, the mobile game Lord of the Rings Heroes of Middle-earth will be coming out on May 10th, so next month. And more towards the end of the month, on May 25th, Lord of the Rings Gollum will be released, where I guess you're playing as Gollum, and it's all the events that take place as Gollum gets the ring and before it gets lost to Bilbo. So some people are saying that Gollum is one of the strangest, yet one of the most important characters in the Lord of the Rings saga, and I agree with that. I think it's going to be interesting to see what this game is about, and pretty fun too if you can play in the world and move around and see kind of what the goblins were doing, because of course Gollum lived in the Misty Mountains for all those years. And if you are yet not satisfied with that, candles. I didn't know this till recently. People make Lord of the Rings candles. I was scrolling through Instagram, and there is a lady. Her handle is Aurora River Candles, and she had this Rivendell candle, which I totally want one. I cannot wait. I think that if someone is going to be sitting there doing this by hand and making a candle about it, they must love Lord of the Rings as much as I do, and I would love to support her. There are other candle companies such as Mythologie that has a Lord of the Rings series, and I think they have a Celtic series and Ancient Greece series, but I would rather buy from a smaller producer, and she seemed very nice too when I reached out to her on Instagram. Yeah, there is so much going on in The Lord of the Rings, and of course, the movie is coming out. I think the movie is going to be good, just like everything else is, but it's not really the stories that I want to see. Middle-earth had so many wonderful stories, and Tolkien made so many wonderful poems about unique things, and I feel like it's just kind of not doing it justice. But I guess we'll see what happens. I'm hopeful. So as for our book, of course, I give it 5 stars because of all the effort, and just, it was good. It was actually really good to read. If you like this sort of thing, it's 5 stars. If you don't like this sort of thing, you'll never get through it. It's going to be DNF'd down in the corner of your bookshelf, wherever. But for someone like me, I got through it. I got through it in like a day and a half. It's very easy to read. It's got only 260 pages in it. Lots of interesting tidbits in the beginning and at the end. Del Rey Books had the beginning, which is the introduction, and also the appendix, and a lot of it was the writings of Christopher Tolkien and him talking about his father and how it was derived from the prose poem. So I thought that was very cute. I thought it was very nice, and it was very informative. As for the tea, I love this. It is such a delicious, fruity, simple drink. You can throw this over ice and have a delicious strawberry iced tea. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of sitting with my mom. You know, this month, and actually this week, made 4 years she passed away, and something like this, I don't know, it just makes me feel at home. And yeah, this definitely gets 5 stars. Try it out. Throw your favorite jam or marmalade into your tea and see how you like it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. A special thank you to Trent at Fourth Space Games for telling me about all this cool stuff. And a special thank you to Aurora River Candles for letting me talk about them on my channel. I think they're a cool company, and I think you guys should check them out. All the links to the things I mentioned that you can purchase will be down below in the description. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I look forward to sipping a beverage and getting into a story with you soon. Take care.